guys, in this video we are going to talk about relations and how to find the domain and range of a relation, and also how to determine whether it's a function. Now, regarding relations, you can think of them as just a correspondence between an x value and a y value. So for example, let's say you are working for United States Postal Service and you get a letter and it comes from Miami and it's going to New York. So there is a correspondence from Miami to New York. Now you can get another letter, it comes from Miami and goes to San Antonio, Texas. Well, there is just a correspondence, right? So here we can have a repeated x values, like Miami goes to New York and then Miami goes to San Antonio, whatever. So you can have repeated x values and you can have repeated y values. So it's just a correspondence from somebody to something. Okay, now the domain is the list of inputs. So when you look over here, the domain would be this number, that would be the x values, okay? Now, if some of them repeat, you do not repeat them. So that's important. When you write the list, it could actually be in any order. You can type it in any order, but if you see a number that repeats, like I can see this right here, -1 repeats. So I'm not going to list this again, because it's not going to be counted as right, actually, if you do list it twice. Okay, so here, that's it. That's the list of inputs. That's the list of from cities, okay? Even if some of them repeats, you're not going to say, oh, Miami, Miami, right? Okay, the range is a list of cities that are the output, like where the letters is going. So the range is going to be all of these numbers, the y values. And again, if some of them repeat, you do not repeat them. I don't see anything repeating here, so I am just going to type them. And the order doesn't matter. You don't have to sort them. It's an what's called unordered list. Now, I'm going to skip this. Is it a function for now? So not going to talk about that. We'll talk about that in a second. I want to do also part B, which should say B, not A. I'm going to fix that. Okay, so looking at the domain, it's the list of x values. Okay, and I do not see anything repeating here, so I'll just list them. That's the domain. And then the range is the list of y values, so would be these numbers. Do I see anything repeating? Actually, yes, I can see this repeating and this repeating, so I'm not going to list this again. Okay, and I don't want to list -8 again. Okay, so I am done as far as domain and range. But what I also need to do is figure out, is it a function or not? So here's what has to happen with the function. I want you to think about distributing gifts to kids. So the kids are coming to you and you give them a gift, okay? Now, you are not going to give the same kid two different gifts, okay? Maybe you don't have that many, all right? And it wouldn't be fair. So each kid gets a gift, and the same kid will not get two different gifts. So the same x will not lead to two different y's. That's what happens when it's not a function, okay? Function, for each kid, there is only one prize. So there's only one y. Now, can prizes repeat? Sure. I mean, you can give a kid a car and you can give another kid the same exact car. That's okay. So the y values can repeat. It's just the x values cannot repeat, because the same kid cannot get two different presents. So when you look at the first example, do you see any x values that repeat? Okay, so -8, -7, -3, -1, -1. Yes. So this is the same kid, okay? But this kid gets two different prizes, -3 and -2. This is no, okay? It's not fair. So this is not a function. So this is going to say no. Okay, now let's look at the next example. Here, do we see any x value that repeats? So remember, it's just the x values that cannot repeat for a function. So I can see -8, -7, -1, 7, and 9. Nothing repeats. So this is going to be a function. Now, you may be wondering, okay, well, but what about this? Like these two repeat. But remember, the y values can repeat. That's okay. You can give the same present to two different kids, right? So don't look at the y's when you determine if it's a function or not. You're only looking at the x. If they repeat and then give you two different y values, that's going to be a problem. But this is not happening here. None of the x values repeat. So that's actually, yes, a function.